What is going on, everyone? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good, because it is good to feel good. And first of all, I just wanted to say a very belated Happy New Year. I know it's the back end of January when I'm recording this, so apologies for that, but I hope everyone's enjoyed January, and certainly I hope everyone has a really good 2025. So that's that. And then secondly, this weekend it is the Royal Rumble of 2025 happening in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm buzzing for it. I mean, genuinely, this feels quite an unpredictable year for the Royal Rumble, but we'll just have to see how everything plays out. Now, like I have been doing the last few years, I'm going to be doing some live reactions for the Rumble, although this time around it is going to feel slightly different because of Netflix streaming rules. It means you can't go to like a watch-along party or a pub or a bar or anything to watch it, so that does suck, but I'll still make the most of it nonetheless at home. And then what I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to lay out my predictions. So there are 4 matches confirmed on the card, and I guess without further ado, let's get ready to rumble. And no, I'm not going to do like I did last year. I feel like, because I already utilised that song last year, PJ and Duncan, let's get ready to rumble, I can't really repeat it for this year, hence why there's no song to start this video. But anyway, let's go into rumble predictions, shall we? We're going to start off with the match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We've got DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And bloody hell, we have got a set of men's tag titles, not including the NXT tag titles, being defended on a premium live event. And the last time this happened was at WrestleMania, and ironically that's when both belts were unified and then they were ununified throughout the process of the match. But yeah, we have got this match happening on a premium live event. I tell you what, I'm really enjoying like the SmackDown tag team scene at the moment, and there's, you know, a few teams getting a lot of like, you know, showcasing and whatnot, and especially with DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. Now, of course, DIY turned heel in December and won back the tag titles. They're now defending them, and it feels weird to like have a heel DIY considering all the years where they've been beloved baby faces, but it's something different, so I think we can work with it. But certainly, I think this is going to be quite an interesting match, and I would probably say that DIY will have the advantage considering they've got a rich history of 2 out of 3 falls matches. I mean, I'm looking back at the 2 out of 3 falls from TakeOver Toronto, then against where it was DIY against the Revival. That was a really good match, and that happened on my birthday as well, so that was a nice little birthday treat for myself. And then secondly, I would say that Gargano himself also has some great experience. I always remember the 2 out of 3 falls from TakeOver New York against Adam Cole. I was there live, that was incredible. But I feel like, you know, one team's going to get one fall, the other team's going to get the other fall, and then my prediction is I think DIY will probably win via some cheeky shenanigans, so let's all wait and see what happens there, but DIY for this match. Next match on this list, we have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Championship in a ladder match. Now, I love a good ladder match, but I tell you one thing I've really enjoyed about this story is how it's kind of been like stretched out for some time. So to think about it, all that time ago, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were of course like, you know, there to like help out Cody, and especially during the match at WrestleMania 39, and it's crazy to think all the way back then. And then of course at WrestleMania 40 last year, you had Kevin Owens amongst the sea of like people who was there celebrating with Cody when he won the Undisputed Championship. Eventually they would clash at the Bash in Berlin, where everyone thought that Owens was going to turn heel there, and especially thought he was going to target Cody with a little slight injury that he had, but no, he resisted the urge. But then off the back of Cody Rhodes teaming with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood, which Cody says he did as a favour to Roman, then everything just came crashing down for Kevin, and just basically attacked him, turned heel in the process, and just became this complete delusional idiot in the sense that, you know, he's always right about everything. And I love that this story has also incorporated the Winged Eagle version of the WWE Championship. So Cody wore it as a one-off at Saturday Night's Main Event a month ago, but then after the match, Kevin then took possession of the belt after delivering a package piledriver to Cody, putting him out of action for a few weeks. But then to kind of like put things to bed, it's kind of symbolic that, you know, you've got one belt hanging above the ring, the Undisputed Championship that Cody currently holds, as well as the Winged Eagle that Kevin Owens has taken possession of. And I like that the segment on Saturday Night's Main Event the other week was kind of overseen by Shawn Michaels, and you know, he's got a history of ladder matches as well, so that was a nice touch. But I certainly think, as much as I would love Kevin to win this match, I think Cody is probably going to go ahead and win it, and I think Cody will factor in as champion, I think, until WrestleMania, but we'll talk about that in a few moments. But yeah, Cody Rhodes to win and retain the Undisputed Championship. Next up, we have the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, at the time of recording, we have Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair making her return, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, and Io Sky. Now, already that's quite a stacked field, and I like that they haven't announced too many names ahead of time. So what I'm going to do with this as well is I'm going to kind of do what I did last year and kind of throw out some kind of like, you know, surprise entrance and what I think might happen in the match and whatnot. So if I had to do some kind of like surprise entrance, I think if we were factoring in like NXT names, I think given that she's feuding with Bayley at the moment, I'd like to see Roxanne Perez in the match, and potentially also Cora Jade as well. I know she wasn't available last year because of injury, but certainly I would love to see this play out. And I would not be against Roxanne Perez eliminating Bayley, because I don't think Bayley's going to win back-to-back Rumbles, as much as I'd love her to do so. I think there's also, this is just completely out of left field as a prediction, but I would love to see Ariana Grace in the Rumble and her getting eliminated straight away, and hopefully setting a record for the quickest elimination in a Women's Royal Rumble match. And the reason I say this is because, of course, as we all know, Santina Marella, her father, broke the record for the quickest elimination in the Men's Rumble at 1 second back in 2009. So it'd be nice to have like kind of like father-son dynamic of them, you know, both sharing the respective records for quickest elimination in a Rumble. Other names I think would be really cool to see Jordynne Grace in the Rumble. I know she appeared in the Rumble last year when she was the TNA Knockouts champion, but I know she's also just finished up with TNA as well and likely is WWE bound, so to kind of like put her in the match, to have a really good showing, that would be a really great way to kind of like, you know, get her, you know, get people used to her again. And I know she did have that little stint in NXT as well throughout last year, so it'd be nice to kind of refresh our memory with her. Also, I think kind of like putting like hypothetical like legends who we think we can return. I know CM Punk's been throwing a few hints out, hence the shirt, and he said, you know, that there is someone I think is going to be in the Rumble, but I won't say a thing, or something along those lines. I saw it on social media the other day, but I know I said it as well last year, but AJ Lee, come on. Can we have AJ Lee appear in the match? Failing that, I saw one prediction someone made where it was like, AJ Lee's music plays, but it's Cora Jade coming out in disguise, so I'm throwing it back to that little prediction. So it'd be a nice little troll, and come on, let's just go with that. But then I also think, you know, given that it's been a few months since she last appeared, and I know her contract expired last year, but I guess the evidence is that she's probably coming back to WWE at some point. If not at the Rumble, probably somewhere down the line, but if she is to return at the Rumble, let's have a great showing for Becky Lynch, because she's bloody brilliant, and I'm sure she would factor in greatly to like a feud going into WrestleMania. But let's wait and see for that. Now onto the actual prediction itself. I guess there's no one really, I guess, would win it better than Charlotte Flair. I know she's won it before, and I think that would be impressive if she did win it like a second time round, but there's really no one else in the match I think would be worthy of winning, unless someone just came out of the blue and just surprised us all. But if I did have to pick a prediction, I'd definitely go with Charlotte Flair for this. And then finally we have the Men's Royal Rumble match. Now, at the time of recording, we have LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Bron Breakker, and Carmelo Hayes, and a partridge in a pear tree for that matter. And genuinely, this is one of the most stacked Rumbles, given like some of the names that are in this Rumble, and you know, genuinely the whole, ooh, anyone could win it, but it's crazy this year. But if we talk about surprise entrants, there are a few names that I kind of would like to raise to your attention. So from the NXT side, I think it would be really cool to see Trick Williams in the Rumble. I know like Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker both got the NXT rub last year when they were in the Men's Rumble, but I think Yeah, Trick Williams, definitely. And hell, if Booker T's on commentary, then that's just going to sell the moment further. Or even just get Booker T, like, you know, coming out there with a mic, you know, when it's like, whoop that trick, what? Whoop that trick, yeah! Let's just have that, that will be fun. And then there is one name, I think, it just makes all the more sense to have him in the Rumble. And if you say his name, he will appear, yes, and I do believe, in Joe Hendry. Now, he's had such a great year in this last year, you know, being part of TNA and also the exposure in NXT as well. And now he's the TNA World Championship, and given the partnership between both WWE and TNA, I think it just makes all the more sense to have Hendry appear in the Rumble. And I know previous champions have appeared in the Rumble before. Mickie James, when she was Knockouts champion, she was in the 2022 Rumble, and then, as aforementioned, Jordynne Grace was in it last year. But also, now that it's mentioned Joe Hendry, he has previous Rumble experience. I know not obviously in the Royal Rumble, but in independent promotions such as What Culture Pro Wrestling / Defiant Wrestling. He's appeared in a few Rumbles for that promotion, and also I've seen him live winning the Kurt Angle Invitational Rumble back in 2016, where he would then challenge Kurt Angle at a future pay-per-view. So I've been there to witness it, so I'm sure he's going to be absolutely great in this. And I'd love to see him having like certain interactions with some of the names that would be in the Rumble. But then other surprises, I know I mentioned this one last year, but again I don't think it will be a possibility, but I'd love to see Big E make an appearance in the Rumble. Now, I feel like probably I want to see it more off the back of the New Day turning heel a month ago. That was a great segment, and everyone thought, you know, Big E and everyone thought Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were going to go their separate ways. Everyone, and like Big E being there as like the voice of reason, when in actuality it was Woods and Kingston turning on Big E, and I feel really bad for him. I want to give him a massive hug, but this is just me being hypothetical. Imagine the New Day running roughshod throughout the match, and then Big E's music hits, he, you know, marches his way to the ring, and we have a cracking moment. That would be lovely to experience, but again, I really don't think, given the circumstances, it will happen, but let's wait and see. And now on to the prediction itself. Now, like last year, I've got a few preliminary predictions. The first one I've got is Roman Reigns. Now, with Roman, obviously he lost the Undisputed Championship to Cody Rhodes last year. He returned at SummerSlam and obviously started the feud with Solo Sikoa and his bloodline. And obviously that's now very much put to bed, and he now has the Ulafala back. He's also made it clear that he is wanting to challenge for the Undisputed Championship again, but he could do so by winning the Rumble. But this is going to sound ironic, but off the back of what Cody said last year, if these two were to have a match, I'd like to see it, but not at WrestleMania. I think it probably feels too soon for them to have a match, and I know you could easily have said the exact same thing last year. But yeah, so Roman's my first preliminary prediction. And for a second preliminary prediction, I've gone for my man here, CM Punk. Now, of course, much like last year, I thought, you know what, he could have done it, and given it was 10 years since he had walked out on WWE, and that he really wanted to main event WrestleMania, I think that could potentially be something that we see a bit of a dynamic. And also, owing to what he did at War Games and Survivor Series, he appeared in the match as a favourite to Paul Heyman, of course, the wise man to Roman Reigns. So I feel like that could lead itself into something where I wouldn't be surprised if like Punk eliminates Reigns or something like that. I think that could play into a dynamic for WrestleMania as well. But then when we come to the final man that I've got a preliminary prediction for, I've got John Cena. And the reason being is, of course, this year, 2025, is his final year in ring. So let's just have him go out on a high note. And if I was booking WWE, I would definitely just have him just winning left, right and centre. But I think it would just be nice and satisfying to just see one last big victory. And also, if Cena was to win, he would tie the record with Stone Cold Steve Austin for the most Rumble victories. So anything's possible. And also, I just think it would make sense for him if he does win, where he challenges Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship, and you know, the former face of the company going up against the current face of the company, what would be essentially a passing the torch moment. I think that'll be a lovely thing. So if I did have to predict one prediction out of those three, I'm gonna go with John Cena. and I can't unsee it. I know that sounds ironic, but I just see it like Cena standing tall, one last hurrah, and maybe not even win the World Championship at WrestleMania, but I've got my theory being that his final match will be him winning the World Championship and retiring as World Champion, but we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, John Cena is my prediction for the Men's Rumble, so let's rumble with this as such. And yeah, those are my predictions. I think we're going to have a really cracking time on our hands with this Royal Rumble. I look forward to do my live reactions, even if it is in the comfort of my own home. It's going to be a great night nonetheless. I'll see you with the reactions, and I will leave you with some advice. That is always to enjoy yourself, stay safe, and make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. Thank you for watching, and peace.